Hello BookTube, welcome back to my 2026 library tour. In this episode, I'm continuing with this final bookcase of my manga collection. Yesterday, I did the Naruto part of the collection. Today, I'm going to be turning my attention to Bleach by Tite Kubo. Bleach is another one of the great manga series from the last quarter century. It was incredibly popular during its run and was, alongside One Piece and Naruto, part of what was called Weekly Shonen Jump's Big Three series of manga. Bleach lasted for 74 volumes, with a story divided into two parts. The first part of the series, the first 48 volumes, can be told by the orange color of the volume numbering. Once we get to volume 49, I will show you what the final volumes, what color the numbers are. Each volume of Bleach has on the cover a character portrait of one of the characters of the series, with the main character, Kurosaki Ichigo, appearing more frequently, although still he only appears about 4 times over the course of the 74 volumes of manga. And it is nice to see the difference between volume 1 Ichigo and volume 74 Ichigo. So, Bleach is about Ichigo Kurosaki, a young man who was born with the ability to see and interact with ghosts. One night, he meets a young woman named Rukia, who is a Shinigami. She has come to the Kurosaki clinic to track down a hollow, a corrupted spirit. The hollow wounds Rukia, and in order to defeat the hollow, Rukia transfers her abilities to Ichigo. This transforms him into a human Shinigami. And Rukia cannot reclaim her power, which means that Ichigo must stand in her stead as the Shinigami overseeing Ichigo's hometown of Karakura Town, which is a fictional neighborhood or satellite city of Tokyo. And over the course of the series, Ichigo gets more involved with the Shinigami, their long-running conflict with hollows and more advanced forms of hollows, as well as the human supernatural community as well. Bleach is one of my favorite series, although the last volumes are a bit disappointing, and I'll get to that once I get to them. So this is volume 1. Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. Volume 5. Volume 6. Volume 7. Volume 8. Volume 9. Volume 10. Volume 11, Volume 12, Volume 13, Volume 14, Volume 15, Volume 16, Volume 17, Volume 18, Volume 19, with the second appearance of Ichigo on the cover. Volume 20, Volume 21, Volume 22, Volume 23, Volume 24, Volume 25 with Hollow Ichigo, Volume 26, Volume 27, Volume 28, Volume 29, Volume 30, Volume 31, Volume 32, Volume 33, Volume 34, Volume 35, Volume 36, Volume 37, Volume 38, Volume 39, Volume 40, Volume 41, Volume 42, Volume 43, Volume 44, Volume 45, Volume 46, Volume 47, Volume 48. So the first 48 volumes of Bleach tell one story, and had Bleach ended here, it would be one of the greatest manga ever. Unfortunately, there are 25-ish more volumes to go that aren't that good. So, starting with volume 49, the number goes to a red color and tells two storylines. The first one is basically Ichigo getting back into the game after a 2-year time skip, and then the majority of these volumes is one storyline that probably was going to be much longer, but due to health issues on Kubo's part, the story was truncated. So this is 49. Volume 50. Volume 51. Volume 52. Volume 53. Volume 54. Volume 55. Volume 56. Volume 57. Volume 58. Volume 59. Volume 60. Volume 61. Volume 62. Volume 63. Volume 64. Volume 65. Volume 66. Volume 67. Volume 68. Volume 69. Volume 70. Volume 71. Volume 72. Volume 73. And the final volume, Volume 74. Yeah. So I really do like, despite my issues with the last part of the series, the final chapter of Bleach, the epilogue chapter, is really quite good. So that largely wraps up this side of the bookcase here. I have a shelf and a half to go, which I will do tomorrow, and then next week I will do this side. So until I see you next time, BookTube, thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and have fun.